G'day guys, welcome back, Chip City here. Just a quick video update. Just checking on a few things, raise a few points, help a few people out hopefully with this video. But firstly, DogeGF is moving nicely, isn't it? So I influenced a few people this week, quite happy to have. Introduced some friends to crypto and told them how important it is to start investing in assets other than their stuff, such as fiat currencies, which are just going to be buried with all this debasing of the currency and government policies, and just the whole system is just crumbling. Really, you've got to abandon ship and start looking at other ways to store your wealth and even grow your wealth, and cryptocurrencies are of course a massive part of that. I've made a significant amount of money myself in the last year by investing in crypto. I have invested in gold and silver as well, particularly silver, as a bit of a bridging currency between the old paradigm and the new one. That's my strategy. But yeah, investing in tangible things. Property is probably not a good thing. I don't know, depending on what part of the world you're in, but most property markets are in a bubble, housing, etc. So you don't want to be investing into a bubble, but things that have been held back, like precious metals, certain assets, I guess, precious things of high value, paintings, and of course cryptocurrencies. So yes, you could make a significant amount of money in a short period of time if you're willing to tolerate the volatility. I find the volatility is manageable as long as you hold. If you try and ride all these waves, you'll just be a nervous wreck. So just ignore it and zoom out and look at the trend. The trend has always been upwards for years, in fact from the inception. We'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, DogeGF looking good, climbing steadily. Could get a parabolic move up, could get a parabolic move down. If we get a parabolic move up, great. If we get one down, be prepared to buy in at about 40-50%. That'd be my tip. Look at it the other way. Do what smart people do. When there's a significant drop, don't shit yourself, just buy in. So have a bit of fiat on the side, ready to buy a dip. When I say a dip, somewhere around 30, 40, 50% would be what I'd recommend. But yeah, looking good here. While we're still in this digit, still I maintain it. Well, it's under 9, and we've still got 8 zeros ahead of it. Great time to buy in. So things are just looking better and better for DogeGF. But again, it will be rocky, but the trend will be upwards. I'm absolutely certain of it. So moving along, I always like to check in on old Matty G here, our artificial leader, I guess. He's at $855,000 now. We're from a $13,000 investment, was 1.2. I'm going to suggest that this 239 trillion units of DogeGF is his trading stack. I'm going to go out there and tell you that I reckon it's his trading stack. So $855,000 US is a significant amount of money for a bloke that was living in a tent a year ago. I might be suggesting he'd pull a bit of that out, but anyway, pay some bills off. But because you just don't want to get caught, with a big dump when you've got this amount of money. Now, where I am right now, just on this particular token, I've got about just a bit under 30 grand there. Hey, that's not too bad, but I'm more than happy to just ride that out. So that's that. 8 trillion units there. I think people out there would do well just to try to aim to get to 1 trillion. That'd be my first target. Well, it was my first target, and I think you can do very well out of 1 trillion. Obviously, you're going to have to hold a bit longer and wait for significant upside, which I think will happen. I mean, just imagine if I end up making $1 million out of my 8 trillion, what would Matty G's look like? Each to their own, good luck to them, but can you imagine what this is going to look like? And I reckon it will. I'm certain that this is going to go absolutely nuts, and that's probably why he's just holding his position, because he's got bigger fish to fry. All good. So this was good. Blockchain Backer is a very good chart analyst. I follow him. He's level-headed. Doesn't talk up any hype.
I've expressed my opinion.
And he talks here about the correlation between the Great Depression of 1929, right here, and where we are in the stock exchange, and where we are right now in the stock exchange. And the reason I talk about the stock exchange is I agree with the blockchain backer that he says there's almost a direct correlation between the stock exchange and the crypto markets. The crypto markets almost follow in tandem the stock exchange. So if that's the case, then, and what we've got here, what I'm showing here, this is called a fractal. So this is where we are right now with the stock exchange, stock market, and this is where we were leading up to 1929 when we had the crash and the Great Depression. And yeah, that's that fractal. So you can see where we are now to where we were then. The fractals are amazingly similar, and you see this you see this so often that the fractals match. Previous, even in crypto cycles, you see the fractals match, and the chart analysts use them as great predictors. They consider them the truth, and they don't really pay much attention to the narratives or the news, which they strongly believe follows the charts. A lot of people think that the price action and the charts follow the narrative. Now, obviously, when Elon Musk posts a tweet, you get a bit of a pump, you get a bit of action. But most of the time, you'll find when you zoom out, look at the macro perspective, that the fractals are the truth, and the bullshit that's spun in the media is really a secondary effect. So in other words, they follow the fractals, all the fundamentals, the announcements. So this is getting interesting, and blockchain backer also believes, and I do also concur with him, that this distance between where we are now and where the crash was is about 15% to go, 15-20%, and that's about where he sees Bitcoin running from here. He sees Bitcoin topping out in this cycle, bull cycle, of about 70 to 80,000 US dollars, and I believe that to be true. And that this is about the same amount of distance to go in the stocks, in the stock market, about another 15% or so. So look out for that. And of course, as previous charts have shown, when Bitcoin does top out and then retraces, that's when the alts fly. So we're all eagerly waiting for that if you're holding your altcoins. So yeah, we're obviously looking out for that. In this particular video, blockchain backer also talks about a little bit of the narrative coming out, and here it is here. It says, Fed to ban policymakers from owning individual stocks, restricting trading following controversy. Well, in a roundabout way, what that is saying, in other words, is policies to come out to see the elites be made to sell off their stocks anytime between now and the short future. And as the blockchain backer mentions in this video, how convenient that we're approaching the top and the elites are being told that policy is going to require them to sell off. How convenient. No policies down here when the shit hit the fan in 2008. We got the policies right up here after all the quantitative easing and money printing has poured into this market. That's the time that we really need to do the right thing and have these elites be told to sell off right at the peak of the market, approaching the Fibonacci extension. Again, watch this video for all more info on that. But Fed policymakers must sell all their stocks right at the top of this Fibonacci extension. And blockchain backer is a big fan of Fibonacci extensions. It's his favourite tool, and it's held him in good stead. 12 years ago, the great financial crisis was down here in 2008, and whoop, all the quantitative easing and money printing, and look where it's taken us, and right up the top of the Fibonacci extension, the policymakers are being told they must sell all their stocks. So get ready, boys and girls, because when that happens, this thing's going to shit the bed, and as usual, the livestock are going to get stuck holding the can. So be ready, have your exit plans ready. Bitcoin, when it gets up around here, it's going to follow the stock market. It's going to retrace, and then the alts are going to fly, and then you need to be prepared for your exit strategy. Because one of the things I've picked up in my short time in crypto, which is about a year or so now, is the regrets of past holders in the last bull cycle, which was around 2017, 2018, and even earlier one in 2013 in crypto, is that their biggest regret is they held too long and they had to go through the bear market. Because they just watched they held on for too long, generally because of greed, and they didn't exit when they could have, and they held on too long, and then held on all the way back down into the bear market and had to wait another 3 years. Now, if they waited their 3 years, they'd be back up now, but I'm going to tell you that they're not going to miss the opportunity this time, and they're probably going to sell early, a little earlier than too late, and I'll be looking to do the same, hopefully, with a bit of luck. I time it reasonably well. Now, if you take profits and the thing goes absolutely parabolic, well, you just be happy with what you've got. But this is why Blockchain Backer is going to take about 65% of your 70% of his portfolio. He'll take it at a safe exit point, and then he'll let the last 30% just ride, just in case it does go absolutely bananas. He's hedged his bets, and I think that's a fair strategy. 65 to 70% when you're happy with your target, and then just leave the last 35% in case it does happen to go parabolic and absolutely bonkers. But if it goes the other way, as predicted, and it crashes, well, then you've still got the bulk of your portfolio in hand, and you've taken a nice slice of this bull run. All good. Get other questions, and I only really had the answers to this myself recently. What is an ERC token? Now, DogeGF, for example, is one of those. It is an ERC20 token. So what is an ERC20 token? Well, it says here one of the most significant Ethereum tokens is known as an ERC20. ERC20 has emerged as the technical standard. It is used for all smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain for implementation and provides a list of rules that all Ethereum-based tokens must follow. ERC20 is similar in some respects to Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other cryptocurrency. ERC20 tokens are blockchain-based assets that have value and can be sent and received. The primary difference is that instead of running on their own blockchain, ERC20 tokens are issued on the Ethereum network. So that means that DogeGF, of course, is issued and runs on the Ethereum network. So there you go. What I'm looking to do is I hold a cold storage wallet device, and I also have Exodus private wallet on my PC with my private keys, and I'm looking to try and see later today if I can get add a DogeGF and get it off MetaMask and get it onto Exodus, my private wallet, because as we now know, DogeGF is an ERC20 token, and ERC20 tokens can be customized and added to Exodus. So I'll have a look at that later and see how that goes. If anyone's got any tips on how to do that specifically, or any links, please put them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to see that. And while I'm talking comments, make sure you make a comment. I'm happy for all your comments and any likes and subscribes if you haven't already done so. It gives me encouragement to move ahead and make more videos. And this is the last thing I want to talk about, was I got sent this meme from a chap. Looks pretty cool. Let's have a quick squiz at it.
One man's answer to the mouse plague: a flamethrower and a few buckets of petrol.
That's a great Australian solution to any problem. A flamethrower and a few buckets of petrol.
It's an indication of just how desperate some farmers in the Gunnedah
Check out the laser eyes there. Flamethrower eyes.
Endured 2 months of the worst mouse plague in the district's living memory.
Fantastic. Anyway, you can check that out for yourself. I'll leave a link in the description below. But otherwise, that's it for me today. Have a ripper, and go DogeGF. Have a good weekend. Bye.